Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. 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 Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep. Right. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Yeah. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We doing a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening here inside the studio. It is Christmas Eve, and we got a loaded show for you guys tonight. Just me and Jonathan here inside the studio. Hope you guys are nice, warm, and cozy inside wherever you're at, wherever you're celebrating the holidays. A Merry Christmas Eve to you guys. We got a loaded one for you. Transfer portal already loaded with plenty of quarterbacks worth talking about tonight. We will do it. We had a film study release about an hour ago. We got film notes on that one as well. We've got previews for the quarterfinals going up tonight on the show as well. I'm going to pin Jonathan down for some predictions because probably the last time he's going to be in front of a microphone prior to these games as well.
Till next year.
Till next year?
Till next year.
Hopefully we get late notice that you got approved the Sugar Bowl. If not, we'll continue to fight the good fight. We'll fight the good fight. Hopefully we get those, but nonetheless, we'll get a prediction from Jonathan tonight as well. Got a good one for you. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Firing off in the chat, all that good stuff. Let's go to work. It's Christmas Eve, Jonathan. You a Christmas Adam or a Christmas Eve guy?
I'm not a Christmas Adam guy. I've always been Christmas Eve.
I'm a Christmas Eve guy as well. Christmas-themed show tonight for one reason. Christmas wish list. Let's do it. We love these. Let's do it. Christmas wish list. What's up underneath the tree for some football programs and fan bases that are rather ravenous, that are no longer watching football unless they're glued in to bowl games that apparently don't matter anymore. But we've got some things going on. So here's how this is going to go. We're going to go through a plethora of football programs that are blue blood in nature of fan base fanaticism. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do that. Here are the football programs we're going to talk about tonight. Some of them just got done playing their last football game. Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Texas, Florida, Auburn, Michigan, Notre Dame, Tennessee. We're going to go through these teams that are done playing meaningful football games, and we're going to go through their wish list. How's that sound?
Sounds like a great idea.
Sounds like fans should go ahead and hit that thumbs up button while we're in the midst of this. All right? Oklahoma, Jonathan, just got done, okay? Blew a 17-0 lead, licking their wounds. What's on the wish list? What are they opening on Christmas morning that makes them sound or feel a little bit better?
Now, I'm going to say this. Going through this, some people might be like, oh, Why is John Mateer fundamentals not on your Christmas wish list for Oklahoma? Well, I would say this. You kind of have to be a little realistic with these. I'm not going to put on my Christmas wish list for Santa, I would like $1 million house. That's not going to happen. So let's be a little realistic with, like, John Mateer is what he is at this point. I mean, this guy's about to enter his final year of college football. He's a little flawed. That's okay. Still an exciting and fun player to watch. So let's start with a simple one. A run game to go along with John Mateer. You know, John Mateer's legs play a great part in Oklahoma's offense. I think if they were able to establish a run game off of that as well, had some good running backs and an offensive line that helped out in that as well, probably would have been a better offense as well.
So I feel as if they're solid at the running back position. They got to get better up front. So I put on the wish list a right guard and a right tackle.
There you go.
I think Eddie Pierre-Louis and Fasusi are going to be good enough on the left side of this offensive line. They've got to get better everywhere else up front. That's on the wish list, as is biomapping. Jonathan, do you know what biomapping is?
No.
That is where we digitally and however like computerize and map the entire body that is John Mateer. Biomapping became very, very famous in the football world because of one Josh Allen. Josh Allen biomapped his entire body after his rookie year in the NFL and then fixed all of his mechanical issues, became much more of a rotational thrower, stopped being such a linear thrower, became more accurate throwing the football, became more explosive and more consistent throwing the football. Let's biomap him.
I like that.
Now, here's the thing about biomapping. I could tell him what's wrong. I don't need no computer to tell him what's wrong. It's the amount of reps and getting rid of the problems that is the problem here. I don't know if we can figure that out. What we can do, though, is wish for an X.
Yeah, we can.
We can get an X body type. They don't have a 6'3", 200-pounder that can go get it.
No, they don't. And that's why I put it on mine as well. I also had consistent offensive line play. You went with specific positions, but I just whole unit all together. Like if we could protect John Mateer and then also if we can help establish a run game, that'd be great. And I just put offensive playmakers. Satanga was great this year for them. Number 12 was good for them. Just need more of them. And that's kind of been the theme for Oklahoma offense under Brent Venables. But I think if we can just get maybe one or two more guys into that wide receiver room or maybe a tight end that's a true difference maker there, that some really good things could come out of that offense next season.
Defensively, I don't know the roster well enough to know what they have to replace. They lost a couple of defensive backs and linebackers to the portal already since the season hath concluded. So we'll see what they've got going on in terms of additions on the defensive side of the football. I don't know if Brent needs all that much, though.
Yeah.
I think he's okay. You would imagine. What is the status of R. Mason Thomas, like, education-wise? What grade, I should say, is he in? Is he like he's got no more eligibility type of football player, or is there an ability for him to come back? That would be a major question there.
He's a senior.
Okay, so unfortunately, but JWill played well down the stretch for those guys. So we'll see. You done on Oklahoma?
Yep.
Let's move on to A&M. What you got on the wish list? It's another football team I think critically in need of an X. I know Bethel Roman kind of developed, but we need Jerome Miles to get back from a knee injury. That was a superstar coming out of high school. He needs to get much better and onto the field for this football team. They need help outside at the X position, especially going to lose Concepcion to the NFL draft now.
I felt like I kind of had a theme with a lot of these teams, and this probably played a role in why their season is either done or why they did not make the college football playoffs, but a consistent run game. We saw what happened when Reuben Owens was not healthy for this unit, and then also like the pieces behind them. Like you could see that there's some things there. Like it could get better. Like it could be super electric for them next year at the running back position, but just kind of need some more consistency out of there. Maybe not have to rely on Marcel Reed to be as involved in the run game because he's great, he's electric, but I don't want that guy getting hit a whole bunch of times throughout the season next year.
I put a running back on there. Like Le'Veon Moss is probably not going to be here next year. I believe in E.J. Smith.
Yeah.
It took them 14 games, it felt like, to believe in E.J. Smith. But the rest of the room, we know it wasn't good enough.
Right.
It wasn't good enough this year when Le'Veon Moss was out. So I put that as a position of need. By the way, what are they going to look like next year, linebacker without Torian York? You know, they were a deep unit. They played really, really good early in the year. I felt like 21 is going to be a major loss. We imagine he's going to be gone. Unless, you know, for some reason he finds another. I don't even know about eligibility anymore. I just feel like you can play
hard
forever.
to figure out.
Just sue your way into eligibility. You'll be fine. Let's move on to Texas. What are the Longhorns? Okay, go ahead.
I had a couple of other ones. Year 3 jump for Marcel Reed.
Yeah, that's a wish list.
That's certainly a wish list. So then I put this on here because this is something that I certainly realized while I was out there at College Station. It means a whole heck of a lot to you guys because there was just all kinds of merchandise and theming around this thing. I went over Texas next year.
Oh, yeah.
Need one of those. Going into year 3 of this rivalry officially being back between these two teams, you've lost the first 2. I mean, everywhere it's just saw off the horns, beat Texas, all that stuff. Like, you guys need to win over Texas, man. And that's what the Aggies need.
There was a Longhorn outside of a building, and we couldn't figure out what it was doing there until we noticed that the horns were down.
And sawed off.
Not going to say little bro energy out there, but they need a big win over the brother there in Texas. You are correct there. How about Florida? All right. Now this one's – or no, Texas. My bad. Let's go to the Longhorns since we already talked about them. Based off the fact that they've got some guys hitting the portal already – they need a running back, Jonathan.
Yes, they do.
They need a running back big time out of the portal, I would imagine. I feel as if they also need a linebacker. Like, hey, it's great that Tyler Atkinson is going to be on campus very, very soon, but we know Anthony Hill's going to the NFL draft. 16 Tuafu or whatever my man's name is, hit the portal. Like 26 was good last year, but he's undersized. He needs to get bigger. They've got to, I would imagine, get some veteran presence out of the portal at the linebacker position, does Texas.
Absolutely.
And my last one, Michael Taft, we would imagine, going to the NFL.
I think it's already been declared.
Then we need a safety.
Yeah.
We need a safety out of the portal as well. They are a portal-heavy active football team that will go hunting. They will go make additions.
Now, the good news for this is I put better defensive back play, and there's 2 things here. One, you guys were young at that position this year. You assume that those players are going to get better. The second part to that, you now have Will Muschamp coaching your defense and also coaching your defensive backs. That's going to help out a lot. I mean, Will Muschamp, very involved with that room, known for helping develop those types of guys. I think you're going to be set there. To go with the run game, I would just say Jaden Baugh. That seems to be the guy that it's like, if this guy does enter the portal, I know that Florida's kind of put the full court press on him, trying to make sure that he stays meeting with Buster Faulkner and John Summerall today. So, but if that guy enters the portal, like that needs to be priority number 1 for you guys, is trying to get that guy into your offense. And then my final one, Justice Terry to play like the caliber of player he was out of high school, how he was rated. He had some good moments down the stretch for Texas, but that's a guy that he needs to be super involved in that defensive line room.
Or just like get a return on the investment.
Right.
Spent a lot of money, you would imagine, there with that football player. It's a great shout there. The Florida Gators, I have 1 addition and 2 do whatever you can to keeps. Get Philo in the building.
Yeah.
We'll talk a lot about Philo when we talk about transfer quarterbacks tonight, but get Philo in the building with Faulkner. But most importantly, keep Jaden Baugh and keep Dallas Wilson. Rare Christmas morning where just hope we didn't get robbed. You know what I mean? We don't need new gifts. Let's just hope we didn't get robbed.
Right.
Let's just hope everything that was in the house remains in the house. We don't need much new. You know, it's a really good roster. It was. That's why he went there, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of the theme of mine as well. Of you need a quarterback. Maybe Aaron Philo is the answer there, but you definitely need a quarterback.
Ain't no maybes, Jonathan. It's what it's going to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll speak that one into existence, or maybe it's already existing as we speak. Jaden Baugh to stay, like you mentioned. And then the consistency of this team to match the caliber of athletes that they have all over the roster. I mean, we talked about this all the time with Florida. Every time we go and see them in person, it's just – this team looks the part. I mean, every time you pull up on them, that team looks like they are a SEC caliber, that they are one of the better – they look like one of the better teams on paper and on the field. And then game time comes up, and there's just some inconsistencies with the roster. They're not playing to the talent ceiling that they have on that roster.
Talking about the Auburn Tigers here on Christmas Eve, I think this is the most wishful of wish lists. We're wishing for Cam Coleman to stay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a hefty wish.
For sure.
I think we're also wishing that Deuce Knight sticks around.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very hefty wish.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me on Twitter, is Deuce Knight willing to sit a year? Sir, is Deuce Knight willing to sit 2 years at your university is the question you just asked. My answer is a resounding no. Is your answer a resounding no?
Yeah.
My answer would be, if I'm Deuce Knight's agent, it's a hell no. Absolutely not. So it ain't been announced that Deuce Knight's in the portal yet, but it ain't announced that Byram Young is an Auburn Tiger yet. Byron Brown. He fitting to be.
Yeah.
He is. He learning War Eagle as we speak. So, I mean, that is a very big question there. I think in reality they need running back help.
Yeah,
they need running back help bad, considering what the offense is, what wide choice is. It's going to be 40 rushing attempts.
Yep.
So they have become a destination, if you will, for running backs. Like you think Tennessee's been doing it good. They're going to do it better next year because they have a rushing threat at quarterback in Brown. So this is a big landing spot, if you will, for whatchamacallit. Now, if and when Deuce Knight hits the portal, that was the one that we tweeted about, like a week ago?
Yeah, about a week ago.
Go ahead, bud.
I had Cam Coleman to stay on here. And then I have two other ones that maybe Auburn fans won't like, but I think it is kind of necessary. Jordan Hare to be feared again. Now, there were moments this year where there was a lot of talk about that place is haunted. Nick Saban
I love
gave
how
the
I
famous
went
quote.
roster specific and you went general wish list.
Yeah, a general wish
I
list.
like this.
Now, like, don't get me wrong. When you see you got to go on the road to Auburn still, there's still a feeling inside of you that's kind of like, ooh, I don't necessarily love that. And especially considering that they had a good amount of night games. Like Georgia was a night game this year. The Alabama game was a night game as well. But everybody went up in that place and they won. Like, you didn't really take anything away from teams this year because you had a home atmosphere.
Took over the trap.
Sure did. And then my final one, Tennessee Offense for Dummies book.
Ooh.
Because I don't think that you guys are quite aware of what is about to happen to your offense, what it's about to look like. You might want to freshen yourself up a little bit. Just the baseline, just the basics of this offense, like what Josh Heupel and what Alex Golish like to run down there. You just need to freshen up on it a little bit.
I like that. Is the For Dummies book still a thing?
I would imagine so.
You think so?
I would think so.
Never purchased one of those.
Me either.
But yes, Wide Choice for Dummies would be
Wide Choice for Dummies.
A good book, because I do think it is a mission that the Tennessee Volunteer fan base has taken up and done a good job of defending, and they are adamant that this is a good thing for their program, and it is. It's gotten them to 3 10-win seasons, or on the verge of doing so. So yeah, man, I'm with you. They need a good crash course in how to go to bat for my Wide Choice.
Yes.
Got to defend your honor, man.
Oh,
Got
absolutely.
to defend the honor of your loved ones. Let's move on to the Michigan Wolverines.
Oh boy, I had to keep it to 3, huh?
Hey, I think it's pretty clear what's atop their wish list. It is one Jeff Brom, or at least a head coach, Jonathan. Just like maybe a head coach, and perhaps we could fire Ward Manuel on the way. That would be cool too. But seriously, do you think Jeff Brom takes this job? And if you are Jeff Brom, do you want this job? Because your alma mater is a pretty good job. You're the best and most winning football program in the ACC over the last 3 seasons. And you've been whispering to quarterbacks really, really well.
No, you don't want that job, in my opinion, if you're Jeff Brom. Now, I understand that there's different standards and there's a different ceiling at Michigan than there is maybe Louisville.
I'm not going to lie.
What?
It's not easy. It's kind of a strain on the voice to talk like this.
Impressive, but I thought
for a while.
I thought it was just one of those things that you just don't talk about it. Like we just graze over it.
Yeah. Graze or glaze?
Graze, I would say. That's the word I would use or did use. So,
chat really loved that.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, a head coach preferably. Offensive weapons for Bryce Underwood. Need some help out there. You got Brady Marchese right now. If you hold on him, and that's also what I have on here is that 2026 recruiting class. You already had a couple members dip out, but if you can hold on to the rest of them, that would be great because they have all the reason in the world right now to be like, well, maybe I don't exactly want to go to Michigan anymore. And then this is my final one. Mark Richt. Just a good, heartfelt man that obeys the law, does all the right things, creates a good culture in the program. Not saying specifically hire Mark Richt, but maybe you just need a Mark Richt. Maybe you need someone like that just brings a whole bunch of good vibes, raises a bunch of good men. You never have to worry about him doing anything wrong. Just like never have to worry about anything.
Are you saying that the Michigan Wolverines should make Dabo Swinney say no?
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
Perhaps.
Because if Jeff Brom says, by the way, I always love doing bits like that. Not because it's annoying for the listener, but more so, Jonathan, I think it exposes those who don't listen to this show every single night. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's nice to throw those who do a bone.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to throw the bone to the listener who's like, yeah, Jeff Brom did have an ESPN article written about him where they called him the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah.
Where they anointed him as the guy for quarterback development. That if you go just play for Jeff Brom, you're immediately an NFL success.
Yeah.
Because Tyler shucked that one time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But all jokes aside about Michigan, an entire new weaponry department.
Yeah.
Just give me all new players there. Is Justice Haynes coming back?
I don't know. Let me look.
He ain't in the portal. I don't think that's the thing. So I think we're having the surgery and then coming back. Yeah, or just a good man as the head football coach.
Yeah.
That's a good call by you. Just give me somebody who ain't gonna get arrested.
Yep.
Ain't gonna have the FBI sneaking around our place. Might surround himself with good men too.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea. Maybe a Michigan man.
Oh, yeah. A Michigan man.
Yeah, maybe a Michigan man. How about Notre Dame?
So for Notre Dame, I put the run game needs to remain impactful. Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love going to be one of the top two guys in the NFL draft at their position. I think ESPN actually has them ranked as 1 and 2 at the running back position this upcoming class. So you need to make sure that remains a standard there, and it has over the years. Notre Dame always recruits good backs, so I have no doubt in my mind that Notre Dame is going to continue to be able to run the ball well, but probably not going to have a guy of Jeremiah Love's caliber, and that's okay. You don't need that every single season, but need to be complimentary off of C.J. Carr's passing game next year. Marcus Freeman to not be a New York Giant. That should probably be at the top of the list. Number one, actually, if that happens, you probably don't even get the other two presents, to be honest. Like, we just get the one big gift. You know, you ever have that happen to you as a kid of, like, you ask for something that's maybe a little bit out of the price range a little bit, getting a little bit greedy, and your parents just say, or Santa Claus is like, hey, just the one gift, all right, but know that this is a very big gift, all right? This is combined for all three of them, okay? So we're not shortchanging you. That would be Marcus Freeman staying and saying no to the New York Giants in this offseason for you. And then another Malachi Fields. You need another big-time wide receiver, X-body wide receiver. I think he was super impactful for that offense.
Oh, he was a difference maker in that offense. We've got to continue to have weapons around the quarterback, who I believe in, by the way. And I think anybody who watched them closely this year should believe in that quarterback. Jonathan, they're going to lose both corners.
Yep.
They're going to lose both corners, and that scares me about Notre Dame because they love to play a lot of man-to-man coverage. We know that about that football program. So might have to go into the portal there. By the way, speaking of, Jadarian Price, is he going to the league? Because we know Jeremiah Love is.
Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't officially announced, I don't believe, so not exactly sure.
So I'll be paying attention to that because they might need running back help as well for the first time in a long time. So we'll see what's going on there. How about the Tennessee Volunteers? Are they going to need a new quarterback, Jonathan?
Yeah, I put Joey Aguilar to get another year, question mark?
Yeah, like, is there a 6th-year opportunity there for the quarterback?
They're trying. And also, like, is that something that you Tennessee fans want? Like, is that what
they should?
Is that what you guys are asking for? I don't know. I don't know, like, if that kind of wore thin on some fans or not, but I would say yes, you absolutely take him in a heartbeat, especially considering that one of your quarterbacks that was on the depth chart and Jake Merklinger has already hit the portal. So just kind of throwing that out there, like, yeah, want another year for Joey Aguilar. Just defensive consistency altogether, tackling, covering, all those things. I mean, you had some good players on your defense, but it didn't play up to the standard, especially from the year prior. And then year 3 jump for Mike Matthews. I had a lot of questions about Mike Matthews coming into this year, of this guy being one of your primary playmakers, considering that his freshman year, it didn't exactly look like a 5-star. Being inserted into a starting role or getting playing time didn't exactly look like that. Year 2, though, Mike Matthews was a pivotal player for that offense. If he gets even better next year, especially losing Chris Brazzell, then you guys are going to be in good shape at wide receiver.
How about safeties and linebackers?
Yeah.
They need it bad. Arian Carter, I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
We know T-Lander's, I think, out of eligibility, but they need an upgrade. 13 played really, really good last year in spurts. They were not good enough at safety. They're going to need new corners, too. What's going on? Is Colton Hood coming back?
No.
We know Jermad's off to the NFL. Redmond played good this year as a freshman. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
So they might have to go to the portal at the other corner spot. I think if we spend any money up in Volunteer Land. It's on the defensive side of the football this year. And we expect there to be some growing pains because of the defensive coordinator change right there with Jim Knowles as the defensive coordinator. We good on wish lists?
I believe so.
How about a wish list for this audience? Our wish list from us for this audience. 100K? Can we get to 100K by January 20th? Jonathan, we have just under a month of football left, like real football. And then, we already got, based off the numbers, we got people checking out now. And that's fine. If you're an Oklahoma fan right now,
a couple days before
it.
Christmas.
If you're that too. If you're an A&M fan, I get it. We got folks checking out. So we need to get to 100K before the end of the season because Lord knows we walk through the Sahara. Yeah. And it ain't like we're going to get found by new folks. Now, I do think portal season, which we're going to talk about here in a second, will ultimately play in our favor because a lot of people wondering about their new quarterbacks that they're ultimately going to get. Lord knows we'll break them down better than everybody else. You know what else is better than everybody else?
What's that?
Our friends over at Sleeper. If you have not already, head over to Sleeper today. Use promo code Brooks. You'll get a 100% deposit match. What is Sleeper? It is the #1 fantasy and real sports gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world with over 6 million active users. If you use, again, promo code Brooks today, you'll get a 100% deposit match. Promo code Brooks. Head over there today and support those who support us. Man, you are dressed phenomenally tonight, Jonathan.
Oh, I am. And
to the nines.
Absolutely. And that's because our friends over at Roback make this high-quality products. Multiple times. I got this sick pullover right here, a little hoodie pullover as well. Super comfortable. I've been wearing it quite a bit, to be honest. And, I've washed it a couple of times as well. Quality remains the same, doesn't shrink on you or anything like that. So it's going to last a while. So you get what you pay for as well.
Stay soft.
I got a nice vest that keeps you nice and cozy. I got a polo that's at good quality. So a shout out to our friends over at Roback. If you use promo code FILM, you get 20% off any purchase. And that's not just for first-time users. That's for any purchase at all. So if you've already bought a couple items from Roback, you are still available to use that promo code. So, again, that's promo code FILM for our friends over there at Roback.
Not just a onesie purchase. That is a twicey purchase.
Oh, yeah.
You can go over there, use it twice. We'll love that from Roback. Transfer quarterbacks, Jonathan, with a
bunch of them.
With a voice crack right there. Transfer quarterbacks, Jonathan. Whole lot of them in the portal. We're kind of known around here for being able to break down quarterbacks pretty decently. I've got notes on all these guys. You want them?
Every single one of them, huh?
Let's do it. In no particular order, Dylan Raiola. And here's what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to give the breakdown of who this football player is. I'm going to pin you down for a destination, where they're going.
Okay, maybe don't pin me down, but you can ask me the question.
Do you think you could out-wrestle me?
No.
It's a leverage sport. You'd be cooked.
Yeah.
Raiola, NFL processor that needs help around him. Facilitator, not a playmaker. Okay? Not enough horsepower right about now. I need him to play with more velocity is the word, Jonathan. I need him to play with more velocity. Okay? I think he's going to play 2 more years potentially. I think this is a guy that needs to play all 4 years in college. I don't think we need to be rushing to the NFL. I think we would be overmatched pretty quickly in the league. I think we need to continue to develop and, again, learn to play with more velocity. And not to mention, he probably going to make 7 figures over the next 2 years if he continues to play in college football. Sure. I also think it should be noted that it's pretty apparent that the brother's going to come attached to this, and you get a good arm.
Yeah.
I think you get a good live arm on the practice squad that you know is going to stick around as long as Big Bro's in town. So you kind of get 2 arms, one that needs to work with a lot more velocity. The other just got done winning a state title and played pretty daggum good in it.
Sure did.
Now, he's left-handed, so that's probably going to make things a little funky with regards to the practice squad. Don't know how many practice squad quarterbacks are out here rolling left-handed, you know?
Yeah, probably not many.
Yeah, because you're not playing very many left-handed quarterbacks.
No.
But the day you do. So there you go, Dylan Raiola. Where's he going?
I guess Louisville, but if Jeff Brom goes to take the Michigan job, that's cooked because
maybe
QB
he's Wolverine.
Oh,
Bryce Underwood, just kidding.
Yeah, I was about to say no. If it's not Louisville,
boy, could you imagine the whispering to Bryce Underwood? He'd need a step stool. I don't know. Jeff Brom's got to be about 6'2.5", 6'3".
If it's
Seems
not
like a rather large man.
If it's not Louisville, though, I would just automatically assume that Miami is going to be in the mix there, I would assume. But even, yeah, I would say Miami probably, if not Louisville.
DJ Lagway, the most physically gifted quarterback of the bunch, but the player with the most problems to fix.
Oh, for sure.
This is I don't see him pick thrower. I didn't see him, coach. My bad. Where'd he come from? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right to the face mask of the defense. Now, in my history of doing this, I don't know of a single player that's grown out of that. Do you?
You throw bad picks, you throw them.
Yeah, and these aren't like – we're going to talk about Josh Hoover in a little bit. Josh Hoover's got, hey, buddy, we don't need you to be a superhero picks.
Yeah.
These are – oh, God. For real? For real, you threw that? You really did that? Like, it's bad. It's been 2 years bad. It's like the first year I was like, okay, maybe we're young. We did play high school. Like, we played a different high school football where it's like very RPO and air raid and very one field read type systems.
Yep.
And now we're turning our back to the defense. Maybe we'll grow out of this. No, we did not.
We didn't.
You are a Baylor Bear.
Yeah, it's the only two schools that it seems like anybody talks about for DJ is he's either going to Baylor or he's just going to follow Billy up to JMU. Like that's kind of where it's sitting at the moment. I guess those are the two locations that I would be keeping an eye on.
Now, you're a Sorsby guy, right?
I do like Brendan Sorsby.
You're a Sorsby guy. Is this an accurate description of him? Just very well-rounded.
Yeah.
Great college football quarterback. The limitation is the ceiling.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Like, we're talking 2,800, like 600 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Texas Tech Red Raider.
This appears to be. Didn't even have to ask me on that one.
Huh?
Didn't even have to ask me.
I don't think so. I mean, girlfriend committing. Use your Carson Beck theories here. You know what I mean? Sam Levitt. Now, Jonathan, I've never been a huge proponent.
Yeah.
Never been a big fan. Now, I don't dislike him. I just think he's a frantic playmaker. It looks sporadic to me.
Would you? No, I wouldn't say this. I was gonna say, like, would you equate him to like a Auburn Bo Nix?
I think he's played better than Bo did at Auburn, but very similar skill sets. Bo's a more natural thrower of the football, though. I think people forget Bo Nix was a 5-star quarterback. The reason being, if you ever watch that kid spin it, wow. Absolute wow. So I don't know if this kid's got that kind of juice.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There are some people that I respect in this business that really like this guy. I don't know if I'm that guy. So,
in other words, though, LSU Tiger.
Oh yeah. By the way, Lane Kiffin will never recruit another quarterback that can't make plays with his legs. He's an LSU Tiger if Chambliss doesn't get another year.
Right.
But I don't know when we get the lowdown on that. When will we get the intel on that? Will it come out before January 2nd?
I don't know.
Because how can you be in court if you're preparing? I guess we'll know if they lose to Georgia.
Yeah.
If they lose to Georgia and he's, quote unquote, in the portal, he knows he's getting another year and he's going to LSU, and then Sam Levitt can go to Nashville. Just dead fish that one. We can move on. Aaron Philo, you are a Florida Gator?
Has to be.
You are a Florida Gator. I'm kind of bullish.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be elite.
He's one of those quarterbacks where you haven't seen a whole lot of it, but the like small percentage that you have seen of it, it's I'd be buying that stock too. I'd be trying to get that guy on my roster if I need a quarterback. I mean, looks the part, the stats are the part. Every bit of it is like this guy could be something.
Is Byron Brown big enough to take the hits he's about to?
I would think so. He's a pretty big dude.
He's pretty damn big, but even the big ones get hurt.
Oh, yeah.
The only one to just like superhero his way through this conference is Cam Newton.
Now,
and I don't know if that guy ever got hit hard in college.
I guess maybe the good thing is if he goes to Auburn, which probably going to be going to Auburn, is maybe they don't have to be so reliant on him in the run game, like because Now, we watched him play against the likes of Florida and Miami and Alabama when they put them in a sweater, all those things. And, like, it was very reliant on him to be in the run game because they were just trying to chew clock. They're trying to limit possessions. I don't know if they're going to be that exact same type of style at Auburn. You know, maybe they open it up a little bit more in the passing game, got better weapons, can get some better separation against some SEC teams because you have SEC athletes. So maybe he doesn't have to be as involved.
He's definitely limited as a thrower.
Yes.
As of right now. We'll see if he continues to improve. But we kind of are what we are. Now, a football player that has a lot of playing left ahead of him and not a lot of it prior to this year, Drew Westamaker, the quarterback out of North Texas, now was linked to Oklahoma State, obviously, because of his head football coach. But I saw some reports that this thing's gotten expensive, and they might have priced their way out of that.
Yeah,
Oklahoma
maybe.
State might have been priced out of it. Do you think Oregon gets in the mix?
I want to take a shot here because over the last 2 years, there have been quarterbacks that came from smaller schools and then went to bigger schools and went on to be very successful. Fernando Mendoza this year went from Cal to Indiana, ends up winning the Heisman, now in the playoffs, maybe wins a national title with the Hoosiers. The year before that, it was Cam Ward, who was at a smaller school, Washington State, then went to Miami, put up great numbers, ended up being the first overall pick in the NFL draft. So I think this might be the next one. I think Mestamaker might be the next one to go to an Oregon or anywhere and just light it up and be one of those guys of, man, he just absolutely lit it up.
I will say this, the Twitter mashups of some of his throws, kid can spin it. There's a throw in his own red zone that I know everybody listening to this has probably seen. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my God, Jonathan. He's Dan Orlovsky-ing. Running on the back line.
Oh, God.
I mean, tiptoeing and just throws a damn sail route like it's nothing on his back foot. It's a 35-yard throw, and it is on a clothesline. Phew. I mean, he's massive mitts, 6'5", linear athlete, very, very twitchy in a thin frame, and can flat out spin the football. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the hell the high school football coach was doing. That's what I'm curious, because the kid never started.
Yeah.
Never played ball. Played JV football and then walked on at North Texas within 12 months, leading mid-major football, leading the nation in throwing, didn't he?
Yeah,
Didn't he lead the nation in throwing yards this year? I mean, absolute spinning it. Now, he ain't Big Mother Chucker, but he's in that area of Sawyer Robinson for me.
He sure did.
He led the nation, like 4,900 yards passing?
4,129.
Okay, so 4,100 yards passing.
31 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Can spin it. We'll see what he's got going on. Speaking of another guy that can spin it, the mashups of this dude of big-time throws from Josh Hoover, ain't a pair of stones in the pocket bigger than Josh Hoover's.
No.
I'm going to tell you, it couldn't fit in a onesie.
No.
Can't wear underwear. You know what I mean?
Just carries a wheelbarrow around.
Can't wear underwear in the pocket. Just carries them around with him in a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow. I mean, massive from the pocket stones. However, a little turnover prone.
Yeah, and I will say this. Like, I watched a couple of TCU's games this year, and he had multiple turnovers, and I want to say both of the games that I watched. And I think a lot of that is I don't think that he had great weapons at TCU. There wasn't a whole lot of separation. I mean,
Not
we're
this
throwing
year. Last year he had dudes.
Yes, he did, and we found that out when we studied him over in the offseason. It wasn't exactly that this year. So he was thrown into a lot of tight windows and trying to figure some things out and make things happen. I think that contributed to the turnovers. Maybe we can clean those things up if we go to a place like Indiana.
I think that's where he's going to end up as well. I mean, I'm good on the Jackson Arnold story. You know what? It's great. Jackson Arnold's made more money playing football than a player of Jackson Arnold's caliber currently, at least in terms of track record, should ever make.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's made $3 million playing football.
Yep.
He's good.
Yeah.
Good on him. That's awesome. I hope he's putting it away. Agreed?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You think anybody takes another stab?
Someone will.
Someone will. Like a Western Kentucky?
Yeah, someone's going to do it.
Is it a fall from grace like that?
Probably. I would assume
I thought Hugh Freeze was the only one crazy enough to think he was good.
Loved him in high school, though.
Yeah, loved him at Liberty. Loved him. Didn't offer, but loved him. Ashton Daniels. Here's my take on Ashton Daniels, Jonathan. I think Ashton Daniels is going to win a conference title at a mid-major this year.
Oh, you think it's mid-major?
Yeah.
I think he should go to Georgia Tech.
Huh.
I think he should go to Georgia
That
Tech.
is a great take.
I think that it should be because, I mean.
Ooh. How about Kentucky and Will Stein?
Not bad either.
I mean, he is Dante Moore liked, right?
Yeah.
Isn't he Dante Moore-ish?
Yeah, a
Great
little bit.
decision maker, accurate with the football, good enough athlete to extend.
Yeah.
I like that.
Is he allowed to go to an SEC school?
I mean, sure. Coach got fired.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Georgia Tech because obviously, dude's smart. We know that. He went to Stanford. That's where he started out at. And then Georgia Tech needs a quarterback right now. Veteran guy, at least a one-year stop for him, and it gives them a gap year at Georgia Tech to kind of figure some things out on the recruiting trail and who they want to build back up in the room. I think he might be a fit at Georgia Tech.
Before we transition into previews and film notes, real quiet. Real quiet. Deuce night, Boston College. Texas A&M and Miami played a playoff game.
Sure did.
Here's some Miami film notes. You want them?
Yeah, give them to
You
me.
were in here with me today. How about that defense?
Very good.
Some
Miami's
dudes.
defense is very good.
Some dudes. Here's what I got. Justin Scott, number 5, and my man, 99. I think his last name's Morton. They beat their butt in the run game for 4 quarters. I mean, unmovable objects in the middle. Did a lot of stunting, did a lot of slanting, punching people in the face, unable to move them off the line of scrimmage. They shut the run game down, did not allow linebackers to get touched for 4 quarters. Did we see a single offensive lineman hat-to-hat with the linebacker today, Jonathan?
I can't recall.
We did not. They ran free all day long. And when you let number 1, my man Toure, was that his name?
Yeah.
My man Toure and my man the 31, I forget his name. When you let them dudes run free, they're getting to the ball carrier. They are really, really good athletes at the linebacker position at Miami. I thought number 12 was an absolute difference maker at the edge rusher position, and he got like 12 reps. He got home on damn near every single one of them. Basante, is that his name?
Yeah.
Basante is the linebacker. Love him as well. Give me a name for number 12. And number 3, the 2 edge rushers were absolute menace on pass rushing downs.
Number 12 is Marquise Lightfoot.
Marquise Lightfoot.
Number 3 is Akeem Messidor.
Messidor and Lightfoot. Now, everybody talks about Ruben Bain. Great football player. The Lightfoot kid is nasty at 6'5", 230 pounds, can really bend the edge and get off the rock. And then the Messidor kid is crazy good too. He had a better game than Ruben Bain did, and Ruben Bain filled it up from a stat perspective, okay? They're really, really good on the lines of scrimmage on both sides of the football. I love the nickels and the safeties as well. Both of them, 22-0, about 6'2", 200 pounds. They stick their nose in the fan.
Sure do.
And they're really, really hard to block. They brought the fight to Texas A&M in the flats. And when you do that, you're going to eliminate the screen game and eliminate the yards after the catch. We knew it was going to be a run the ball and yards after catch football game, and they beat that ass in both departments in that game. So that's why they won it on the defensive side of the football. Marcel Reed played poorly, no doubt, but there was no supporting cast.
No.
Had no ability to run the football, had no ability to really get open. Miami did a tremendous job of forcing checkdowns into the dead area of the defense, really taking away and capping the structure of every passing concept and progression that the A&M had. If there were 5 guys in a route, the deepest 4 were taken away, and the force to the check down area was applied every single passing down. They did a tremendous job covering these guys. The wind was bad, and when the wind is that bad, you have to, and I mean have to be mechanically sound. He was not.
No.
And the ball fluttered, and he struggled throughout the football game. He was overthrowing to try to cut through the wind, and yeah, it's a good strategy if we throw a tight football. If we're trying to overthrow everything and throwing ducks, it's going to get knocked down, and it's going to get altered throughout the ball game, and that's exactly what happened. They will get him some help eventually, I would imagine, out of the portal. We would imagine Jerome Miles at some point gets healthy. I think that could be a difference maker for this football team because they need an X desperately. They need a guy that can defy man-to-man coverage and make it a lot easier on the quarterback, and it can't be somebody from within the slot. It's hard to do that, guys. It's hard to win one-on-ones from the slot because we can cap it with safety coverage, and then it's not a one-on-one anymore. Now it's bracketed essentially from, jump. I do want to know your thoughts, Jonathan, on the 2nd and 22, 3rd and 17 series of play calling.
Yeah.
By the way, for those listening, that's the first interception, not the game-losing interception. The first interception that led to the first points of the football game.
Right. And I would say for the style of game that it was, where neither team is able to put up points despite the number of field goal attempts that Miami had, your defense was holding up every single time. In that style of game, just concede the drive. It's going to be okay. Defense has been fine. Like neither offense, like it's not like you're just playing from 2 scores down or anything like that. There's no need for us to be that aggressive. And I kind of felt the same way when they called the fake punt. Like, yeah, I understand you're trying to capture momentum right before the half. You're trying to get points, all that good stuff. But in a game like this where your defense is playing well, both offenses are struggling, like the situation and the environment of the game with the wind, all those things, I would just concede the drive, be okay, punting the football, and rely on your defense.
We're in a 2nd and 22 because the quarterback just grounded the football.
Yeah.
We're on our own 28 on 3rd and 17. Draw or screen, get booed out of the stadium. Doesn't matter. You didn't turn it over.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that, I thought that was and not to mention, 2 or 3 punts later, we get the field flipped on us because we're kicking to Malachi Toney randomly.
Yeah, why?
Both of these punters, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Kick 7 rows up. It doesn't matter. The kid cannot return the ball. He will flip field. We're lucky we shoestringed him. He should have scored, honestly. Do you feel better about their chances against Ohio State now, having watched that?
I do. That defense, I think it's going to be another defensive rock fight.
They're so dude-filled. Like, they're not going to – like, Indiana confused Ohio State. Miami's going to line up and play football with dudes, and you're going to have to beat them, and it'll be a very interesting battle there. Speaking of interesting battle, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's preview these quarterfinal matchups, Jonathan. Oregon versus Texas Tech, suspiciously in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, both long travels for both football teams. How do you feel?
Well, for starters, I'm sure Oregon's like, yes, let us go play in Miami. We will happily go down there and play in some warm weather. So
I hate to cut you off. I forgot to tell the audience what we're doing tonight in these. Now, normally we do previews a little bit differently than what we're about to do, but here's what we're about to do. I'm going to give you the rundown of what I think these football teams are, and then Jonathan has given me a good statistical profile of who they are, and it is a very specific statistical profile. Here's how I think you should break down football teams based off the stats, okay? These are the most important stats to me. We'll start with the offensive side of the football. Yards per play is a huge stat for me. I'm a film guy, but when I look for offensive efficiency, how many yards do you get per play? Every time you snap it, how good are you? Red zone, touchdown to field goal percentages. When you get down there, are you punching it in the box or are you settling for field goals? That's what I want to know. That tells me how good your coordinator is, to be honest with you. That also tells me how good your quarterback is when the field gets small. All right? Plus 20s. Those are the chunk plays. How explosive are you? I am a big proponent of explosive metrics. I think that if we get chunks, it's a whole lot easier to score the football than to methodically move this sucker. These defenses are really good. I don't want to be on the field all that long. For that matter, third down conversion rates. If your yards per play are high, you should be good in third downs because you should be in third and shorts. Amen? All right, and the other one, turnovers created. How many turnovers do we have at this point in the season? Now, on the defensive side of the football, yards per play, still very important. Are you good on a down-to-down basis? 20 yards allowed. Are you keeping things in front of you? Are you limiting explosives allowed? Rushing yards per attempt, not per game, per attempt. When teams run it at you, are they running it successfully? If they are, we got to question that defensive line play. We got to question that box play. All right, if not, I assume you got dudes up front. And then, of course, third down conversion rate. Now, let's talk about this Oregon and Texas Tech matchup. For me, Jonathan, these teams are very, very similar. They feel very similar to me. Really balanced offenses, fast and physical defenses. I don't equate them with size. I equate both these football teams with speed.
Yes.
Great athletes all over the field. Great movers all over the field. Here's how I'll break it down. I like Moore over Morton. I like Texas Tech's run game. I like Oregon's, but I really like Texas Tech's. I like both tight end groups, but I really like Oregon's tight end group. I like the fact that Texas Tech staff is together. I like the fact that they're not very distracted right about now. In a vacuum, I think Oregon staff's better. I do. I like Lupoy. I like Tosh Lupul. I like Will Stein. I don't like the fact that they're head football coaches for the first time in their careers. And one of them was a high school football coach 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Was Will Stein. So these are very new territories, and they're taking over football programs that need a lot of help. Cal's not exactly a turnkey operation. Kentucky is not exactly a turnkey operation. Very curious to see. That defensive approach looked very distracted to start that football game against JMU. We can't have that against Texas Tech. I'll be paying attention to it. I think this game, Jonathan, has plenty of points. I think both of these offensive coordinators are extremely creative. And here's the important part. Ain't a single one of them been tested in about a month and a half. Both these guys have been able to squat on it and sit on it for quite some time. I think there's way too many playmakers on both sides of the football to not expect points in this football game. This will be the fastest football game in the quarterfinals. Both these teams loaded with speed, and I don't know if they're able to stop it.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you want me to do these stat breakdowns? You want me to give you Oregon offense and Texas Tech offense, or you just want me to give you Oregon and Texas Tech?
All right, so here's what we should do. Yeah, give me Oregon and then Texas Tech.
Okay. Well, Harry, here's Oregon's offense. Yards per play, 7.25. They rank 4th in the country.
Extremely efficient. Okay.
Yes. Red zone touchdown rate, 67.9% of the time. They are scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That ranks 32nd in the country.
Okay.
Explosives, 91 20-plus yard plays. That ranks 1st in the country.
Now, that got tilted because they had about 17 of them against JMU.
For sure.
So
for sure. But nonetheless, a very explosive team. Third down conversion rate, 48.7%, 14th in the country, so staying ahead of the sticks.
And that matches, right? They're efficient in yards per play, so that means they should be good on third down. They got a really good quarterback, makes great decisions. They're good on third down. That checks out.
And then turnovers lost on offense, 11, which ranks 13th, so they're protecting the football as well, which all makes sense.
Good to know.
Defensively, yards per play, 4.36. That's 4th in the country. Rush yards per play, that's 3.36. That's 19th in the country. Explosives allowed, 33. That's 4th in the country. Third down rate on defense, 35.11%, 34th in the country. Turnovers forced, 17, which ranks 50th.
That reads like a bend-don't-break defense, Jonathan.
Yes, it
now,
does.
They play a really heavy two-high structure. They let one of those – they play a real 3 safety look. They play too high with a rover safety in the middle of the box.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, I know I didn't ask you to do this. Will you check their defensive havoc plays? That strikes me as a team that's not trying to get upfield. That strikes me as a team that's trying to keep things in front for the remainder of the football game, which, by the way, my preferred strategy, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm going to make you go 14 plays. I don't think you can.
They rank 91st in the country for tackles for loss.
See, not a film guy or not a stats guy, but this is what football brains do to stats, okay? This is how it should apply. You should go through these metrics and football observations should come to your brain, and then they should be paired up with good stats like that right there. I don't pat myself on the back enough, but that right there only happens on this network. I can promise you that right now.
Yep.
What else you got for me?
All right, Texas Tech. Here's the offensive breakdown. Yards per play, 6.4, 21st in the country. Red zone touchdown rate, 56.16%, 98th in the country. So not very good in the red zone when it comes to scoring touchdowns.
And that might just be the BYU games.
Yeah.
They settle for a lot of field goals. I don't like this.
They sure did. Third down rate, 50.49, 11th in the country. Turnovers lost, 14, 48th in the country. Defensively, yards per play, 3.96, 3rd in the country. Rush yards per play, 2.3, 1st in the country. Explosives allowed, 33, 4th in the country. Third down conversion rate, 30.77% of the time, 11th in the country. Turnovers forced, 31, which is 1st in the country.
And that's almost all the Rodriguez kid.
Yeah.
It's all the forced fumbles, the interceptions from the Rodriguez kid. It's been all over the place. These offensive numbers tell me they're great in between the 20s. Mm-hmm. They are a chunk machine in between the 20s. They can't punch in the box.
Nope, they sure can't. So you told me
interesting.
You told me you're going to make me give score predictions on these games.
Yes, sir.
Based on the stats, what I know about these two teams, I'm with you. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this one. I think it's going to be a close game because offenses are going to be moving at a rapid pace. I think you might see some defenses get worn out a little bit because also when you're playing fast, that also means if you get 3 and out, you're putting your defense right back there on the field. That certainly doesn't help your defensive effort. But I have Oregon winning this game 31-27.
This is the biggest, obviously the biggest test Texas Tech had, but has had. But this is the first team that can match them and maybe even be better than them on paper from a talent standpoint.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I will say this. If you haven't watched this Texas Tech football team this year, you don't know that they manage within the game. They adjust. They make changes. They find things that are working and then continue to do them. They are not just out-talenting people. They have out game managed people. They have adjusted coaching staffs throughout the season. So they are not some slap organization that just bought their way here. Yes, they have. They got great players like the rest of the teams. They're really well coached as well out there with the Red Raiders, should be noted there. You're riding the Ducks. I'll give my predictions as we get closer. We've got more shows mostly coming live from New Orleans when we get down there for the Sugar Bowl. We'll have that preview come the local hour. I'm good there. You good there?
Yep.
Let's move on to the Rose Bowl, Jonathan. Alabama versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, I normally, at this point, would be wondering how this old Indiana ragtag bunch would handle all of this talent from Alabama. But, boys, they just beat the most talented roster in all of college football for my money.
Yep.
Like, I'm putting Ohio State, Texas, Georgia, like, it's all up there. 13-10, give it to me. Like, hello. 13-10 got a dub over Ohio State. So I'm not necessarily worried about that. I'm not wondering about that. Here's what I know about Indiana. Here's what you should know about Indiana if you don't know yet. They scout and attack. That's what they do. They scout their opponents better than anybody else. You're wondering how they're doing this, how they have the best turnaround in the history of college football, how this man, Kirk Cignetti, has taken the second most losing football program in the history of Power 4 football, how he has taken that football program and turned around within 24 months, won the Big Ten. Here's how they do it. They scout their opponent tremendously, and they are diverse enough to attack whatever it is you are not good at. There are a lot of football coaches that, quote, unquote, do what we do. We're going to go out and do what we do today, gentlemen. We're going to go out and play our brand of football. That is not how Indiana beats football teams. They find what you do not do well, and they make you do that crap for 4 quarters. That Indiana versus Ohio State game is an exact example of that, ladies and gentlemen. They thought, hey, here's what we can do. We can attack number 3 vertically. We gotta be good enough everywhere else, but when we go after number 3, we're gonna gut their butt. That's exactly what they did. They got explosives off the start with PIs. They got Kurt Beckert. They got my man Charlie Beckert back behind that defense on number 3. They got Elijah Surratt one-on-one with them in the red zone. They find what you don't do and they hunted it, right? Defensively. What did they think they could do? They think they could confuse Julian Sands. So what did they do? They confused him for 4 quarters and put him on his back 7 times. That is what they do. They find what you can't do. They find what makes you uncomfortable, and they make you do that for 4 quarters. I'm curious to see what they do to Alabama. I know what Alabama can't do. They can't run the football. But other than that, what makes them uncomfortable? I'm very curious to find out.
Yeah, this game to me is, I said it yesterday, and I still feel this way. This is going to be the hardest game for me to pick because I don't know what Alabama is going to look like. They're like a week-to-week team for me at this point in the year. Are they going to look like how they did against Oklahoma in the last 3 quarters, or are they going to return to the version of themselves that they were in the SEC championship game and how they close the year? I don't know. But here's the stats for you.
Before you go into this, Bama is a one-dimensional offense and a damn good defense that nobody knows about. And then Indiana – I bet they're top 10 in everything.
Alabama's offense, yards per play, 5.67, 72nd in the country. Red zone touchdown rate, 72.88%, 11th in the country. Explosives, 69, nice, 19th in the country. Third down rate, 42.71%, 41st in the country. Turnovers lost, 12, 17th in the country. Moving on to the defense, yards per play, 4.82, 21st in the country. Rushing yards per play, 3.68, 37th. Explosives allowed, 40, 17th in the country. Third down conversion rate, 35.11%, 34th in the country. Turnovers forced, 20, which ranks 27th.
So they're well-rounded, like top 35 defense in the meaningful statistics, and then probably top 20 in points per game allowed? Okay, interesting.
Moving on to Indiana.
And they are exactly what I thought now looking at this.
Yards per play, 7.09, 7th in the country. Red zone touchdown rate, 72.31%, 15th in the country. Explosive, 76. That ranks 9th in the country. Third down conversion rate, 56.77%. That's first in the country. Turnovers, only 8 of them. That ranks 3rd in the country. Defensively, yards per play, 4.57. That ranks 12th in the country. Rushing yards per play, 2.89. That's 10th in the country. Explosives allowed, 39. That ranks 14th. Third down conversion rate, 28.07%. That's second in the country.
God.
Turnovers forced, 25 of them. 6th in the country.
Guys, they're only allowing conversions on 28% of third downs.
Yeah.
Stay the hell up out of them.
Yeah, Alabama, I know.
Stay the hell up out of them. I know you love to live in them. Good God, does Alabama love to live in 3rd and 7, but stay the hell up out of them on this one.
Yeah, it concerns me that Indiana's run defense is that good and they're that good at getting off the field. I think that's a bad mismatch for Alabama, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm going to say Indiana wins this game. I got it 27 Indiana, Alabama 21.
Whew. All right, let's move on to the Cotton Bowl. Jonathan, the Miami Hurricanes taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. A little rematch of the, 2004 BCS championship? The Maurice Clarett, the Fugazi pass interference. Was that 04?
I think it was. Let me look that up.
A rematch of their foosball game. I think maybe the first time they've played since then. I feel like these programs have avoided each other for quite some time.
Okay, 2004 was LSU Oklahoma.
All right, find me the Maurice Clarett football game. When was that? Maybe 02? Either way, first time these two historic programs, I think, have matched up since
2002.
2002. What a foosball game that one was. Low scoring. I wonder if people thought that one was some poop. Hey, I think the defense from Miami is good enough to cause problems again for Ohio State. But here's my concern, and this is a weird one. This is going to sound really weird. You gave me a weird look when I asked you this pre-show. It was super windy out there at College Station.
Yeah.
And I think it forced the hand of one Shannon Dawson to be like, you know what? We're just going to run the rock. We're just going to run the rock. We're going to protect it. We're going to keep this quarterback from making bad decisions. Ain't no wind in a dome.
No, there's not.
This is ideal conditions in a dome.
For sure.
You think this might create like an opportunity where they're like, yeah, let's let Carson get into demon mode.
Let's let our $4 million quarterback cut it loose.
$4.5 million quarterback. Let's let him cut it loose. Hey, some incentives on the lines too.
Oh, yeah.
He got an incentive-based contract. He's paid like 3.8, 4.5 on an accelerated contract. Demon mode Carson Beck versus the Ohio State Buckeye defense could be scary.
Oh, for
Could
sure.
be turnover prone. That's all I'm worried about, you know? I'm worried about them being able to throw the football. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, I feel good about making this a 17-10 Mark Fletcher MVP, damn that defense is good type of win. But what if we get a little aggressive with the quarterback? I think that would scare me versus this defense, Jonathan. Am I reasonable there?
Potentially. I'll be interested to read you a stat that maybe changes your mind just a little bit. But
Ohio State not getting them?
yeah, I think that Ohio
Turnover fairy might show up. We know how that is.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it pops up all the time. So, but I think Ohio State is very akin to how Georgia sets up their defense of these two defenses don't force turnovers a whole lot, but that's because that's not how they play defense. They're all focused on making sure that you punt the ball to them in 3 or 4 plays. That's what they're focused on doing. So, very well could end up being a turnover-prone game for Carson, but that's not how Ohio State typically plays.
I'll be very curious to see Malachi Toney versus Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
How do we get that? Because both of them operate in the middle of the field. They're both in that area. I'm very curious. 2 versus 10.
Yeah.
I think they're the 2 best football players left in this tournament. Is that a bold statement?
Ooh. I have to do a little bit of thinking right now.
I know Ohio State fans are going to shoot me because they're like, Jeremiah Smith is the GOAT. He is. Malachi Toney's pretty freaking good. And Malachi Toney is like impacting all phases. Run game, return game, wide receiver, quarterback. Okay, like he's all over the place. Jeremiah Smith is like, damn, he might get us 8 for 180 today, and that will suck. You know what I mean? 2 totally different matchups.
For sure. Would you like the stat rundown?
Sure, give it to me.
All right, here's Miami's offense. Yards per play, 6.28. That's 28th in the country.
I'm betting they're both balanced, and Ohio State's dumb elite.
Red zone touchdown rate, 69.09%, 27th in the country. Explosives, 56, that's 53rd in the country. Third down conversion rate, 45.45%, 28th in the country. Turnovers lost, 12, 17th in the country. So I believe that means the only turnovers that they've lost, well, no, I take that back because Malachi Tony had a fumble, so I take that back. Defensively for Miami.
You were going to say they're all on Carson?
I was going to say that.
Damn, dude.
Yards per play, 4.5, 8th in the country. Rush yards per play, 2.87, 9th in the country. Explosives allowed, 40, 17th in the country. Third down conversion rate, 31.43%, 13th in the country. Turnovers forced, 23, that's 15th in the country. Moving on to Ohio State. Yards per play on offense, 6.78. That's 13th in the country. Red zone touchdown rate, 66.67%, 35th in the country.
What is this one you're about to read? This is not Ohio State football.
Explosives on offense for Ohio State, 54. That is 60th in the country. Third down conversion rate, 54.93%, second in the country, so really good there. Turnovers lost, 9, 8th in the country, so really protecting the football. Defensively.
Whoa. Why is this football team not explosive?
Couldn't tell you.
That's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, defensive metrics.
Yards per play defensively for Ohio State, 3.94, second in the country. Rushing yards per play, 2.83, fifth in the country. Explosives allowed, 26, that's first in the country. Third down conversion rate, 29.01%, that is sixth in the country. Turnovers forced, 14, 85th in the country.
Yeah, so they don't get the ball back all that much.
Very conflicting.
Yeah, man. I would have not told you that Miami is the most explosive offense in this matchup.
Right. That was probably like the biggest eye pop for me when I was breaking down these stats of Ohio State not really.
I mean, they're
explosive.
barely more explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Barely. It's 53rd versus 60th ranked. We got another rock fight.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to pick Ohio State to win this game, but I got a 21-17. I think you're going to see more points than you did in the Texas A&M Miami game, but I think it's going to feel kind of similar to where offense is kind of hard to come by, but I'm going to rely on the overall talent of Ohio State, and I think that and the ability to protect the ball. They don't turn the ball over a whole lot. I'm going to say that Ohio State wins a close one here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a whole nother hour coming up on the other side of the break. We finna talk that dog. Really finna talk that Sugar Bowl. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You like that? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for another hour here on the Film Guy Network. Last hour, best hour prior to Christmas time around here. Merry early Christmas to you and yours inside your house. Hope you've already done your shopping. I did mine today. And people will say, oh, he's such a procrastinator. Child, when was I supposed to do my Christmas shopping? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, when you get to the age that I'm at, your wife will do most of the Christmas shopping for your entire household, and that's awesome. But it's important on the 23rd that you rush to the Mall of Georgia and get her something nice.
Oh, buddy, you went to the mall?
Yeah, I'm a brave soul. A couple of Hays. Is that? It's me. Hey. Yeah, Mall of Georgia.
I've been to the Mall of Georgia.
You don't like to be out and around the folks this time of year?
I don't mind being out and around the folks, but that is a busy place on the 23rd.
In and out, smooth. The key to that is to park towards the end of all parking lots.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep. We did it all right. We was in and out. You know, didn't spend a fortune. So there's that. Welcome to the Local Hour. We got a Georgia versus Ole Miss preview. There's some news we need to hit on. We got a full roster overview going on today. We're going to go through both of these rosters, and if we have time, we may play Would You Rather, but I'd rather not. So let's start with the news today. Lawsuit.
Yeah, there's a lawsuit.
Explain to the folks what happened here. I think this is posturing. I hope it's posturing. If not, I hope everybody's lawyered up. I hope you're ready to go to war.
Yeah, everybody is lawyered up. So if you did miss this news, so if you remember earlier in the month, Georgia made this claim that Damon Wilson owes them $390,000 because he breached a contract that he signed where he was set to return to the University of Georgia. And in that contract, it stated, if you break this contract, you then owe us the money that we were going to give you. Well, Damon Wilson signs the contract, enters the transfer portal, goes to Missouri, and now Georgia is seeking after their money and also damages because they're claiming that we weren't able to go get anybody else because we already had that money tied up, all those things. Well, now Damon Wilson has responded by suing the University of Georgia, saying that he does not owe them that money, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why they claim this. I'll give you the little rundown here, but basically it claims a couple of things. The first one that they claim is that Georgia did not put Damon Wilson's name into the transfer portal immediately once he requested, which, yes,
NCAA rules say 72 hours.
yes, 2 business days. You get 2 business days to enter a player's name into the transfer portal, and Georgia then has the opportunity to do a full court press, try and keep him on the roster, and that's what they claim. The attorney claims is that Georgia was trying to keep Damon Wilson on the roster. Yes, because they have a right to do that, but that's the first thing that they claim. They also make a claim that Damon Wilson missed out on NIL opportunities and wasn't able to fully captivate all of the earnings that he could have potentially did because there was claims that there was defamation.
I was about to say, is it a defamation claim?
Defamation claim that Georgia's lying about his character.
So we better watch how we talk right now because we might get tied up in a defamation,
yes, This is just me reading what was reported, by the way.
That's right. We're just reading news.
So this is not me making my own claims or thoughts or opinions on Damon Wilson. No, I don't. I'm just reading you the facts right now. So, in other words, Damon Wilson and Georgia are probably going to court, and they're going to try and settle this thing out. I don't know how this is going to work out, but things are getting a little messy at the moment.
Is this one of them, are you allowed to use the euphemism? Is this one of them so-and-so standoffs?
Yeah.
Where we're just staring at each other, holding guns, saying which one of us going to pull trig?
Yeah.
Is that what we got going on?
This was a 42-page complaint, by the way. This was a very thorough complaint that they filed. So there's a whole lot of claims being made. I can read you a quote. I thought there was a very interesting quote from the attorney itself. Georgia appears intent on making an example of someone they just picked the wrong person, said Jeff Jensen, one of Wilson's attorneys.
Ooh.
Damon never had a contract with him. I don't see how Georgia thinks intimidation and litigation will help their recruitment efforts. Maybe players could bring lawyers with them to practice.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, in other words,
this is a don't tread on me lawyer right here is what
for
this
sure.
is.
And if this goes the full distance, things going to get a little messy. That's for sure, because one side feels very vindicated about how they do. Obviously, Stephen Drummond, who gave quotes the first time around, he said, you can refer back to my initial quote that I gave on this, and I can read you that right now. Stephen Drummond said, when the University of Georgia Athletic Association enters binding agreements with student athletes, we honor our commitments and expect student athletes to do the same. That's what he said on December 5th when they filed for Damon Wilson to owe them the $390K.
I originally thought this was posturing from the University of Georgia personally. Mm-hmm. I thought this was you think you're going to run off on a bag? You think you're going to tell us that you're going to be here and then not? The next person will see us in court.
Yeah.
And then Damon's representation turned around and said, you ain't going to use us as no guinea pig.
Yeah.
So now we got a standoff.
Sure do. Yeah, to me, I'm with you.
I don't have a side here. I see what Damon's lawyer's doing though.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Damon's lawyer's literally saying, "No, we ain't no damn guinea pig. Mm-hmm. We'll see you in court."
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. Like when this initially started, I thought this was just Georgia's trying to make it known to everybody of, hey, all you players that think you can just sign something and then dip out of here and you don't have any repercussions for your actions, think again because we might be able to do something about that. Didn't really think that this was going to actually continue to build into something bigger. Well, it certainly has, and it'll be interesting to see what ultimately gets resolved here.
I thought this was going to be resolved in hey, my bad.
Yeah.
From Damon, not you said, what about my name? You going to see me.
I got time.
We got nothing but time, baby. We's at home in the bowl game. We got nothing but time. Shout out to where they at? They in the Citrus?
Don't even know, to be honest.
Damn, bowl season don't matter to you, huh, Jonathan?
It does. I just can't remember which one they're in.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Don't be making these claims about me.
I think it's the Citrus.
Okay. The Cheez-It Bowl.
It might be El Cheez-It. Some might say I've aged you the best. Roster overview.
Let's do it. We got a big game to talk about.
I don't want to go to the board. Should I go to the board?
Well, if you don't want to, I'm not going to make you.
Let's do this verbally. You ready?
All right.
All right, let's start with Georgia's offense. Y'all know what the roster is, but here's what I'm projecting it to be. Moreau Freeling at left tackle. He's a dude. Michael Morris at left guard. I expect Drew Bobo to be back in this football game. Is that fair game?
Really?
Oh, no. I'm an idiot. It's going to be Malachi Tolliver. We got a I was thinking hand. We got Liz Frank. We're out. So, yeah, it'll be 51. And he played good enough in the SEC championship game. I feel all right. I do expect Juan Gaston to get the start at right guard, with Ernest Green getting the start at right tackle. Donnie Glover, I expect to be playing in this football game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when, but I do expect him to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't sit him here, do you?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. All due respect to the Walmarts. It's Sugar Bowl, though. Tight ends. I think it's a tight 4, Jonathan.
What 4 do you think?
Number 4, Oscar Delp. Number 7, Lawson Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, Elias Williams. And the return of one Ethan Barbour.
There you go. That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
Yes, sir. Tight 4. No offense, Jaden Riddell. We'll see you down the road. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's tight rotation. We got to get Ethan back in this mix here. I think he's ready. Wide receivers, maybe Colby Young. How about a dressed Colby Young?
Yeah, he'll be there.
Dressed Colby Young.
He'll be there.
Yeah. In there in pads.
Mm-hmm.
At least make him be like, is 8 over there?
Oh, hey.
Might have to dust out the scouting report on 8.
Mm-hmm.
Give him something there. But it's probably going to be Noah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully without back spasms.
Yeah. And, I mean, C.J. Wiley with another month
he
of
owned the
development.
notes. He owned the notes, as is one Dylan Bell. You know, got reps at X down the stretch. You would imagine he will in this football game as well. Moving to the Z position, London Humphrey's going to get that start.
Yep.
Talon Taylor, though, he going to play.
Return of him as well.
He going to play.
He was playing in the SEC championship game.
He was, as was Landon Roldan.
Yep.
If you go back and look. Slots, easy. Zachariah Branch, Scovey, White, Helton.
Yep.
Okay. Georgia defense. Let's flip over to the other side of the ball. Y'all know who the quarterback is. Damn good football player, too.
14.
Him. You know?
Running backs, do we need to get into those?
We know what that is, too. We know what the rotation is. The question is, who's the hot hand?
Yep.
Right? You know Nate's probably going to get primary carries. Who's getting them secondary carries?
Mm-hmm.
I think Nate's earned that, by the way, down the stretch. He's playing good ball.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Georgia defense. Defensive line's obvious, right? Kristen Miller, Xavier McLeod, Joshua Horton, and then Nnamdi Ogboko is how I would rotate those 4. All right, in that order. After that, defensive end, Gabe Harris dealing with turf toe right now. He's a tough SOB. I would imagine they see how much he can go. And then if not, Joseph Jonah Jr. is playing better football. And then after that, I'm thinking about a name like J.J. Hane, maybe finally getting some good burn, using these 15 bowl practices to really get back ready to go. Develop in December, so says Kirby Smart. The jack position is obvious. Quintavious Johnson has been playing great ball. I think the next up after him is up for grabs, right? It's Christopher Jones and it's Ella Medozi.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they rotate those football players. The linebacker position, we know that's obvious. I think it's a tight 5 right about now. No offense to Terrell Foster. C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson, Chris Cole, my man Ryan Williams.
Justin Williams?
Justin Williams. Good Lord. We ain't worn that sucker in a minute. And then give me some Zayden Walker on passing downs.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Give me some Zayden Walker on passing downs. And then the star position should get interesting. It sounds like Dink's been getting a lot of burn with Jonell still dealing with a wrist surgery and repairing from that. So Jaden Harris also getting reps, so says Kirby Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Safety position is KJ and Ja'Cory's job right now. Ja'Cory played really, really good in the SEC championship game. He's got to play good again in this matchup against Ole Miss. The cornerbacks, DeMello Jones, Dalen Everett, and Ellis Robinson. In no particular order, it should be noted that 15 played a lot in the nickel out of a 2-man structure in the SEC championship game. They said, oh, you got 3 wide receivers that are good, and you want to play 11 personnel? Here's man-to-man coverage against 3 wide receivers, and we'll play man-to-man coverage with the safety under tight end too, and Ja'Cory Thomas is going to take a head off. So good luck. I think it's a very similar game plan in this one considering how Ole Miss plays offense.
Yeah.
Okay? I think they can cover anybody.
Yeah, it seems that's how they feel as of late.
If you rolling out playing majority man-to-man bumper run against Bama, who ain't you going to do it against?
Ohio State would be the only team where I'd be like,
Correct.
that might be one where you don't just say man-to-man today. Let's see what happens.
This close second.
Yeah.
Indiana maybe close second. I don't want to be bumping around against those 6'4" wide receivers from Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I need safety help.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they got going on. I think they're going to man them up. No inside information. Just that's how they won the game the first time around.
Yeah.
They've gotten better and deployed it more since then. Why wouldn't they continue in this football game with a very similar game plan? Let's flip over to the Ole Miss side of the football. You're going to hear a resounding theme, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. This is a mercenary group. This is a group that has been thrown together. This is a group that has played good ball elsewhere and playing great ball here. That's what they got going on. They are a transfer-laden roster. There's no doubt about it. Let's start on the offensive side of the football. I'm going to give you the starting units versus Tulane. Should be noted here, not very deep. Not very deep. They play what they play. There's not a very deep rotation here. You don't got to worry about twos. You ain't got to worry about, hey, who's coming in after this guy. Nah, they probably going to play the rotation that they got out there. And if somebody gets hurt, the guy coming in isn't near as good as the guy that left, all right? Let's start with the offensive line. They go 50, 51, 62, 76, 61. All right, 61 the right tackle, 6'6", 335, plays all of it. He plays as high as a human being can play. You're going to get up in that chest plate, stay there, drive his ass into the backfield. A lot of these guys can be reset. Now, they get away with it because their running back might be the best in the tournament. I think he is. I think Keywan Lacey is that special. I don't think this offensive line is. The other peculiar thing about this, Jonathan, they got 3 guys from Tennessee. I don't know, just random. Centers from Baylor School, right tackles from Tennessee, I think left guards from Tennessee. Random assortment of Tennessee football players playing offensive line for Ole Miss. Also a group that isn't as transfer-laden as some of these other groups. These guys have been there for quite some time. That tells me the offensive line coach, will you look him up? I bet he's got Tennessee ties. Just a random thought. Bet he's got Tennessee ties. Tight end group. 8 and 4. Now, 8 is the do-it-all guy. He's the tight end slip. If they're going to slip a tight, they're going to pop this tight, all right? They're going to pop this tight end right here, number 8. He is their H-back, if you will. Caleb Odom, the other tight end, is their mismatch problem. He is the guy that is the one to pay attention to from a Evan Ingram standpoint. I'll get you the name right here. I got it. Give me one second. John Garrison.
Yeah, I'm looking at his profile right now.
Where's he from?
I don't see any Tennessee ties. Played at Nebraska.
Okay.
Bounced around a little bit, but no ties to Tennessee.
Interesting. Maybe just likes the area.
Yeah.
Maybe just recruits it heavily. Nashville's pretty cool. Watch out for the tight ends, okay? They like to slip those guys. They like to pop those guys off heavy run action. They'll hide that number 8 in the backfield as like a running back. If you see that, you are getting quarterback run. All right, you're getting quarterback run. He will be the lead blocker on said quarterback run. So stay alert on where number 8's at throughout the football game. Wide receivers, they're deep and talented. Deep and talented. I got a list. I got them separated into 2 categories. One category, damn good ball player. Another category, the Lord blessed him. Okay, damn good football player category. Caden Lee. Okay, I think Winston Watkins, damn good football player, number 17, the freshman. And number 11. Hilton Alexander goes by Deuce because he's a junior. Real good football player. Now, the Lord blessed him. Number 2, the transfer from Penn State, the Lord blessed that man. He is burning fast. And number 1, about 6'3", 200 pounds, the Lord blessed him too. I like the other guys better though. I think they lean on the other guys a lot more too. Just damn good ball players. They all make plays out there in different varieties. The 3 damn good ball players, they're going to make tough contested catches over the middle, make guys miss, yards after catch, gritty, lunch pail. The other guys, watch out. Okay? Speaking of, watch out, the running back, Keywan Lacey. I was so early on this one. I was so early and right on this one. I tweeted week 3. I think the most underrated playmaker in the SEC, Keywan Lacey. He has been exactly that. Is Ball leaving Florida?
I don't know.
When I see Ball leaving Florida tweet or messages in the chat, I just assume that is official. But no, I don't know.
I mean, he did have a meeting with Florida coaches today. So if there were a decision to come out, you would imagine it probably would be leaked out right now.
I highly doubt he got the NFL Combine interview that DJ Lagway got.
No, that was probably a please, 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 please.
It's probably a roll the carpet out type of deal there. So that is the offense. I think the quarterback is their second best running back, Jonathan. I think there's a stern drop-off from Kejuan Lacey to the 2 and the 3. And I think the second best back is the quarterback. If you haven't watched Ole Miss this year, you don't know how explosive of a back this quarterback is. He has tremendous rushing instincts, tremendous, and he is explosive. He has really changed how they run the football. Guys, the last 2 or 3 years, Ole Miss has not been able to run the football with the running backs. They can now because the quarterback balances the counts. You've got stat breakdowns for me. My mind tells me they're bad in the red zone.
Okay.
Because the quarterback can't throw it into the box.
Okay.
And they struggle to run it in the box when the box is tight.
You want the full rundown right now?
Just give me the red zones.
Okay.
Are they good in the red zone touchdown-wise?
62.5%. That's 58th in the country.
Okay. That's my only wonder there. Let's go to the defensive side of the football. Defensive tackles, they don't play a lot. Again, they're thin. They don't play a lot of bodies. 52 and 51 are their guys, and they're totally bipolar opposites, okay? 51, Hezekiah Harris is 6'8". Let's call him 6'7". He's 6'7", 335 pounds, and how do I explain this? Plays high but agile. She kind of gets away with being a great athlete. But if you can get into his chest plate, which you will, you can roll this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it. Tulane's left guard gave him hell.
Sure did.
In their first matchup. I expect Donnie Glover to get up in that chest plate just a tad bit. You know? And then 52 is my guy, man. I like 52 a lot. 6'2.5", 320-ish pounds. Real good athlete. Great mover. Plays a great pad level. I like him. I like him a lot. I like him more than Hezekiah, even though Hezekiah gets all the love. Because you just don't see it. You don't see a lot of big dudes like that playing defensive tackle. Defensive end number 5 is a big mover. 6'6", 290 pounds. Plays good. Plays good football. And is, again, they have to play a lot of snaps. They play way more snaps than anybody on the Georgia defense. Their main problem for me up front is number 4, Centurion Perkins against the run. He will get hunted. He will get hunted again. He got hunted the first matchup. He'll get hunted again in this one. He struggles holding at the point. I mean, guys, he's 6'2", 230 pounds, built like an inside linebacker, and gets asked to help hold the point in the run game, and does so admirably with regards to effort. He gets beat by birth. You know what I mean? He gets beat by the idea that he is not big enough. It is not because he does not try hard enough. It's not because he's not physical enough. It's not because he's not sound. He's in the right spots. Just gets beat by birth. Okay, Micah Morris will move you. It just is what it is. So there's that. Linebackers 44 and 6. They're built relatively similar. They're good ball players, but I don't know if they're quite difference makers. I think their main difference maker from the second and third level is number 14, their nickel. Started out as a safety for these guys when we first scouted them. They've realized that he is their best instinctual football player. They've moved him into the nickel. He is a transfer from Washington State. Number 16, the other safety, is an Oklahoma State transfer. And then number 29, I think, is one of 3 homegrown talents for them. He's a kid out of Seminole County, Georgia, playing for them at the safety position. He's a junior. The two corners are transfers from SEC schools. Antonio Kite is a transfer from Auburn. The other transfer is from Arkansas. Both 6 foot, 180 pounds. Just good zone football players.
Yeah.
They keep everything in front. They're a ragtag bunch.
There you go.
That is the rundown of those guys roster-wise. You got any questions, Jonathan?
I do not. I mean, it's basically what I remember about them when we watched them the first time around when they played Georgia. Like, all those numbers are ringing a bell now, and how they sound. Like, that's exactly what I remember about Ole Miss from earlier in the year. So, really, probably hasn't changed a whole lot, in my opinion. Would you like the stat breakdown?
Let's give you the preview right quick, and then we'll do the stat rundown.
Right.
And then we might call it a night. Who knows? Neither of these defenses could buy a stop the first time around. But this is a different defensive story, in my opinion, for Georgia. They're just playing a much higher brand of football, a much better brand of football. They feel like we talked about earlier, they feel like they can cover people. They are a man-to-man football team right now. And that was what got them off the field last time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's also what gave up a 70-yard touchdown to start the second half, but it's what created the lonesome 2 stops in this football game. They're much better and more confident at running it now, and I think that's what this game is going to come down to. I think it's going to come down to man-to-man defense from Georgia and whether or not Ole Miss's weapons and their quarterback can win in those situations. And what you need to know as a football observer and a Georgia fan watching this, that means you're going to lose some plays. And when you do, they're going to be explosives. But you just have to get them down on the ground, live to fight another day, and be okay with it because eventually it's going to be your answer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wonder if that's the game plan without Lane. You know what I mean? That's the game plan against Lane because Lane sees zone coverage and he's like, hey, we're going over here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now, that's what you just result to because we got to get a guy at the catch point. But maybe they play a little bit more zone because they know that Lane's not over there giving the guy the answers, and maybe they can confuse him a little bit. I don't know. It'll be an interesting matchup there between those guys. The thing I'm looking at most importantly in this one is depth on defense for Ole Miss. I know for a fact that snaps 60 to 80, Georgia's defense can play good, sound football. Mm-hmm. They can muster up a fight in the fourth quarter, snap 60s to 80.
Right.
I don't know that to be the case about Ole Miss. If the dam's going to break, Ole Miss's dam's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, it was that way the first time around, too. I mean, you're talking about how Georgia, despite the fact that they gave up touchdowns on Ole Miss's first 5 possessions, they managed to get 2 stops in the second half while Ole Miss's defense didn't get a single stop. And then on top of that, Gunnar Stockton proceeded to go 12 of 12 in the second half. So, it matches up with how this matchup went the last time as well.
KJ Bolden needs to cover a ton of ground in this football game. He needs to be a deep safety, just eraser. If they are going to play man-to-man.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's got to be able to cover a lot of ground and get over the top of things to force some of these balls to go underneath against, other people than deep ball fades or whatever it is. Go balls. We don't need to be back shouldering for 4 quarters. We need to take some of that away with a safety that can cover ground.
Yeah, I think that this matchup is going to be a little different than it was the first time. I don't think Georgia's going to go the entire game without punting again. That's just and that's not because I'm saying
hater.
Ole Miss's defense is better or because Georgia's offense isn't capable of doing that again. Statistically, probably not going to happen again in this one. You're at least going to see Brett Thorson probably at least once in this one. But I do think it's going to be similar in the sense of I think that Georgia's just going to do the same thing that they did last time offensively, where they're going to lean on the run game. They're just going to be efficient on downs. Gunnar Stockton's going to do his thing, and they're just going to be efficient, and they're going to continue to dominate the time of possession, keep the ball out of Ole Miss's offense's hands. And I think that you're going to see some struggles a little bit from Ole Miss's offense as well. I think that they're just going to get a better test from Georgia's defense this time around. I think Georgia's defense is playing better. The last month has been incredible from that side of the ball. They're just playing more confidently, and I don't think that they were in that zone or in that area just yet heading into that Ole Miss matchup because there wasn't really much of a reason to be confident a whole lot because they got beat by Alabama, and then they also got in a shootout with Tennessee, and they weren't very good defensively in that game either. So now they build up some confidence, and now there's some belief within themselves there, and they know that they can do it. And Kirby Smart rematches, it goes pretty well for them, especially defensively. I mean, they shut down offenses.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, there's been multiple instances of this now where, you get in a rematch with Kirby Smart, it's what happened to Alabama. Now, I think Ole Miss's offense is good enough to where they're not just going to only score 7 points, but it was that way for Auburn. Auburn went out there and they hung, I think it was 41 points in 2017 at Jordan-Hare. And then they go into the SEC Championship game and they score 7 points. Alabama, they were super efficient offensively against Georgia in Athens. They go in the SEC Championship game, they score 7 points. When you get rematched against Kirby Smart and that defense, and they get a second look at you, it doesn't typically go too well. So, I'm picking Georgia to win, obviously. I think it's probably going to be still pretty – I think there's going to be points, but I would probably say it's going to be Georgia 37, Ole Miss 28.
What do the stats say about this football game, Jonathan?
All right. Georgia offensively, yards per play, 5.71, 69th in the country.
Nice.
Red zone touchdown rate, 79.25%, second in the country.
You know what that is?
That's a quarterback that can run.
As a quarterback that can run in an offense that moves people against their will.
Mm-hmm. So,
Kirby has always said it. You want to be a good rushing, or you want to be a good red zone
Run.
offense? Run the football.
Yep, you got to be able to run the football, and they've done that this year. So, yeah, second in the country for red zone touchdown rate this year. Explosives, 54, 60th in the country. Kind of about what you would expect for this offense this year. Third down conversion rate, 45.21%, 29th in the country. Turnovers, 12, 17th in the country. So, protecting the football like they always do, like Kirby Smart
I wonder
loves.
what their conversion rate is if you split it by down and distance on third down. Like 3rd and 4 or less versus 3rd and 7 plus.
Yeah. I wish
'Cause
I could
I bet they
that.
are a top 2 football team in 3rd and short.
I could kind of give you a gauge on it a little bit if I pull
It basically is the recipe for success for Georgia is avoid 3rd and long. Like they're a good football team on 3rd and long, but they're not. That's not their bag. Their bag is 3rd and short, and being able to threaten the defense in a variety of ways, not be in an automatic passing down situation, and that's what they've been really, really good at this year.
All right. Here you go. This is Gunnar Stockton on 3rd and 10 plus. Okay, so this is just passing attempts that they've had on these downs. He's 15 of 28. He's got 75 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They've converted first downs on 5 of them.
5 for, what'd you say, 18?
He had 28 total passing attempts on 3rd.
Yeah, 5 or 28. So it's not what we want to be in.
Yeah.
Right? But the 3rd and shorts, we're going to eat it up.
Oh,
all right?
100%.
As an offense. So that's where they need to be consistently. Continue.
Defensively for Georgia, yards per play, 4.78, 19th in the country. Rushing yards per play, 2.85, 7th in the country. Explosives allowed, 36, 10th in the country. Third down conversion rate. Now, this has gotten significantly better than what it was to start the year. Like, I would love to know, like, how much they've improved in that area. But 35.09%, 33rd in the country. Turnovers forced, 12, 105th in the country.
And if we did like last 6 on the third down conversion rates,
bet
they're
it's a
probably
9-day
through the
difference.
roof. Yeah. I mean, that one 13 for 19 game will do a number to, to your batting average on third downs, man.
Definitely. All right, here's Ole Miss's stat breakdown. Offensively, yards per play, 6.7 yards per play, which ranks 14th in the country. Red zone touchdown rate, 62.5%, 58th in the country. Explosives, 83, that's 3rd in the country. Third down conversion rate, 44.95%, 32nd in the country. Turnovers loss, 13, 34th in the country. Defensively, yards per play, 5.27. That's 43rd in the country. Rushing yards per play, 4.26, 70th in the country. Explosives allowed, 46, 50th. Not bad, actually, all things
They
considered.
were in the hundreds in rushing yards per attempt when they played the first time.
Yeah,
So they've gotten slightly better.
they have.
I wonder if they stopped nut stunting on every play.
Might have.
Ton of nut stunts. Nut a ton stunts. I mean, lots of them.
Third down conversion rate defensively, 36%, 46 in the country. Turnovers forced, 13, 95th in the country.
You think there's people listening that don't know what a nut stunt is?
I mean, probably.
Probably. It's when the nose goes under the tackle. Nose under tackle. N-U-T. Nut. Tackle under nose. The football spelling of ton. You know, the real spelling of ton. T-O-N. Ton of fun tonight.
Yeah, but like I said,
Ton of fun.
I have Georgia winning this game. I think I'm going to say 38-27. I think that's going to want to go with.
It's a good ball game. It's a good ball game. Hopefully you're there.
You know, I think I'm just going to put the sword down for this one, and
You know,
what reality is, reality is.
bad time to be on the bad side of an SID.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
And we're not that. So we're good there.
hey, look, you know, I get it. It's a college football playoff game. A lot of people
Spots
want
are
to go
tight,
to these
man.
games. Yeah,
Spots are tight.
I completely understand. But with that said, wouldn't be mad if it was Georgia and Miami in the next round, because I think that would really increase our chances of getting all three of us there.
Yeah. You know?
Not to say that I'm biased towards the Hurricanes or anything, but I'm just saying for our benefit, probably wouldn't be a bad thing.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
What's the schedule like? I see people asking in the chat. What's the show schedule, bro?
Yeah, so Christian and I are going to head out to Louisiana the morning of the 29th. We'll be pulling into the media hotel probably about 2 or 3 o'clock. We have media availability that afternoon. We're going to go through the car wash with the Georgia folks. And then we're going to crank a live stream TBD somewhere inside the hotel
Just when it happens.
before I let Christian go try to stream. What do you call it? Slot
Snipe slots.
Slot snipe. For those of you who don't know, Christian has this very, very methodical method. A little bit redundant. Very, very interesting method at a casino where he just goes around to every slot machine and finds the slot machines with credits left on them, cashes them out at, like, I'm talking about no credit too small. So he'll see, 3 cents over here, fresh ticket. Go add it on to his ticket. Now I have 8 cents. Found one with $2. Now I got $2.08. By the end of the night, he's got about $8.50.
He told me he made $75 doing that.
I don't doubt it because I think he made like $25 and then hit on a blackjack hand, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just playing with house money though.
Yeah,
it's playing with house money the entire time. It is rather interesting to watch. So there's that.
I mean, it's the most. If you know Christian, it's the most Christian Kirby thing
Facts.
ever.
Other than like whiskey straight, no ice.
Yeah.
And other than the fact that I'll eat chicken and rice cold. Mm-hmm. Steak too cold, raw basically. Like hit it with a flashlight and then put it in my cold tub.
How it was meant to be eaten.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, meant to be eaten, just like that. But yeah, Kirby is an interesting fella to go on these trips with, lonesome.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah, we'll be doing that, and then we'll be doing live streams the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, and probably live from the field on the 1st. I think we'll do something like that. So there'll be plenty of options and plenty of time to watch. We'll also have film study. Might do that from the hotel on the 29th. Bring the iPad, do it old school. You know what I mean?
Man, that just makes me think about the 2022 national title game where we're sitting in a hotel in Texas and you're sitting there breaking down TCU offense.
Ain't never been more dialed.
Yeah, I was about to say, and it was.
Did I not have the exact game plan to a T?
Oh, it was.
To the point where Riley Godey pulled me off to the side after the football game and was like, yo, what you got going on? Just ball, baby. Just ball, dog. That's all. He's a football coach now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
For the Florida Gators.
Yeah. Tech, then Gator.
Right? Had to go alternate Bulldog first at Mississippi State. Then goes in-state rival.
Yeah.
And now we're going state border rival. Like, Rylan, come on, mate. We couldn't make some better. I get it, though. One of
the coolest things I've done, and it'll probably never happen again. I was surprised I didn't get, like, shocked with a cattle prod the moment I walked in the building, was when I sat down and did that interview with Tate and Rylan, and they were still active Georgia football players. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten was when Tate was sitting there and he was like, yeah, sometimes I turn on you and I'm just like, I got nothing to do. And you'll say something in the middle of a film study that I literally just had to take a note on in the middle of our film study. And I'm like, is this guy in the room? No, I'm not in the room, but the room is the room. The film room is the film room. Like, football is football. Now, there are certain things, we do certain things differently at certain places. We call this, that, and the other. We might change verbiage or terminology or whatever, but football is football. There's one way to see it. There's one way to break it down. There's one right way to do things, right? So that was a fun thing, and again, something that will never, ever happen probably again.
I don't know if we'll ever get another just player podcast like that, it seems. It hasn't resurfaced, you know. No one's carrying the torch. We got a brief carrying of the torch last year.
Yeah, with a little Brett Thorson era.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the return.
Yeah. The football player-led podcast thing is very, very hard to do.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's very hard to do. People think they can just turn this on and get clicks every time. It takes a lot of work, man. There's a lot of moving parts here to require you to sit here for an hour or 103 total minutes and try to maintain an audience.
For sure.
And then show up again tomorrow and do it again.
Yep.
It's not as easy as it sounds. So I'm good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Hopefully, maybe you will be able to see me before the new year, but if not, have a Happy New Year.
If I don't see you, brother, I'm very thankful for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very thankful for you. I'm obviously thankful for Christian as well. You guys work extremely hard for what it is that we do. But you've been my day one guy.
Yeah, man.
So Merry Christmas to you and your family, brother. I hope I get to see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
And the folks at the Sugar Bowl, this guy deserves to cover every event that there is. All right. We all do, but he does especially. Okay, so get on it, man. Get on it, for real. This guy should be in New Orleans. He should not be sitting at home with his lovely wife and his family. He should be with me and Christian doing debaucherous shit in New Orleans.
I'm gambling again.
I'm gambling again.